hitting the road and taking a trip to a Bay Area region that's like no other.
It's just a beautiful little place that nobody knows about.
From walking beneath the redwood trees to hiking in the hills.
You could probably find a park within, 5 square miles of your house.
And finding out just how much you really know about what's in your own backyard.
I have no idea.
How come you're not asking any questions I know the answer to?
Coming up on the 9, follow us on this adventure through the East Bay and get a taste of what you might be missing.
It's nice, it's older, it's got a little culture and look to it. I love it.
Eso.
Good morning and welcome to the 9. What a gorgeous Friday, July 23rd. It's our zip trip featuring the glorious East Bay. Right now, it's a familiar picture here, the Oakland estuary. She's 5.5 miles long. She splits Oakland on one side, Alameda on the other, of course. Home to the Port of Oakland, a powerhouse for us all here in the Bay. Look, on any given morning, really, or afternoon, you're lucky to see some rowers out on the water. You see people hiking and, doing a nice brisk walk and a jog along the pathway here in Jack London Square. Can you believe we're actually on the roof of our house, if you will? We are coming to you live from Oakland, right on top of KTVU studios. We're in the 94607, Mike, and it's a perfect place to feature the East Bay because Oakland is in fact the largest city in the East Bay.
When you think of the East Bay, I think of the sunrise side of San Francisco Bay. I mean, she is a gem, and a gem I really did not get to know until I started working here 17 years ago. I mean, growing up in Novato and San Francisco, it's San Leandro, Hayward, Concord. I mean, those were foreign cities to me. I had no idea until I started getting into the music scene in high school, and that's when I experienced the Henry J. Kaiser Auditorium in Oakland, Concord Pavilion, Oakland Coliseum, where we were at a concert together, even though we didn't know each other at the time. That was back in 94, Halloween. What a great show, by the way. But overall, especially the bigger cities, Berkeley, Oakland, spectacular views, and I would say, guys, you're kind of underrated.
Right. I mean, look, there are many parts of the East Bay. There are so many cities in this glorious region that a lot of them don't get a lot of pub, if you will, right? When's the last time you heard about Kensington or El Cerrito? Look, I grew up in Livermore, and we used to cheer every time you'd hear Livermore on the news, and it was only because of the heat, right? That's changed.
All right, let's dive into it. Our team is spread across the East Bay. Frank Malakote's with us for the next hour. Claudine Wong is with us as well, including our co-anchor, Sal Castaneda. He's over in Alameda. Sal, take it away.
Mike and Garcia, we are here at Cafe Jolie in Alameda, right off Webster. It's one of the staples here. You can get a really good cup of coffee. I actually love the steak and eggs here. It really kind of reminds me of Paris. If you've ever been, this is a place to come to. I'm with the owner here, Joanne Gutarte. Good morning, Joanne.
Good morning,
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I love this place. I have a little personal investment here as far as me being a customer. Tell us more about why your customers say that they're happy, first of all, that you're open again, and what people come here for.
Well, I think they definitely come for the experience, the ambiance, and the food, of course. We're known for our beignets, and we have an amazing crab cake Benedict and a Monte Cristo. So
Monte Cristo?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Served with a blackberry jam compote that you dip it in.
Wow. So you also have a donut shop next door that is doing French gourmet donuts. Yeah. So that's this whole part of this whole thing.
Right.
Tell me one thing before we go back to Mike and Gassi. I want to get something about what it's like to have come through a pandemic and have people coming back out again.
Well, I think, it's challenging, first and foremost, and it was very scary. But what I can say coming out of it has been a blessing, right? And the support we've gotten from the community and all our patrons, I mean, it's just been overwhelming. And we're just so happy to be back in business and open.
Joanne, thank you so much. This is going to be my home base for this next hour, Mike and Garcia. I'm going to get a nice tall coffee, and we have a couple of things that I tried in the East Bay, food-wise, that I want you to stay tuned for. If you're hungry, if you're not hungry, maybe my report will make you hungry because it's all about food. So Mike and Garcia, let's send it back to you.
I love it. I'm not really a big breakfast guy, but brunch.
Oh,
Oh.
I don't know. I just don't eat a lot early, but brunch I'm in. That cafe sounds fantastic.
Absolutely, and the weekend's coming right up. Excellent. So let's talk about something that I think all of us have a renewed appreciation for, and
What's
that
that?
is the great outdoors.
Sure.
Remember way back at the beginning of the pandemic, we heard the line, the outdoors are always open, and that was the case. East Bay Regional Park, this is my little family
Library card or
This
a
is
park
my
card?
family membership card to the East Bay Regional Park District. We have used this baby. She's kind of faded on the back. The East Bay Regional Park District saw a 30% increase in usership over the past pandemic year, and interest is still growing strong. So put on your hiking boots, grab your water bottle, and let's go check out some parks. For the past year plus, there's been a different kind of traffic jam at Garin Regional Park.
I've been with the district for 41 years.
Have you ever seen a year like we've just come out of?
Never. Never.
The pandemic pushed more people to discover the East Bay Regional Park District. Many parks, such as Garin and Hayward, are hidden away in the East Bay's biggest cities.
It's so close.
Yes.
It's just right off Mission Boulevard. You come over the hill, you're in the park.
Karen McNamara has been coming here for years.
I went to high school down the road, so there was always parties here at Garin back in the 70s.
Today, it's a long walk with a dear friend.
We're just walking around, checking out the goats and enjoying the kind of calm, the calm atmosphere today, and just enjoying the breeze and the sun, and probably climb some trees over there later and just hang out. Wherever these kids want to take me, I'll kind of go with them.
The surge the Park District saw last year is continuing. People are continuing new habits that include a deep appreciation of parks and open space.
You could probably find a park within, 5 square miles of your house throughout Oakland or Alameda, Contra Costa County.
Both counties declared the East Bay Regional Park District an essential service at the beginning of the pandemic for the physical and mental health benefits of being in nature.
It's just very peaceful and just give us a different perspective of what actually happened to us last year. And it's a good way to acclimate back outside our homes.
Now, there are several new and upgraded features across the district's 70-plus parks and 1,200 miles of regional trails.
It's our first time here, and we think it's enchanting.
Depending on the park, you can go picnicking, swimming, fishing, camping, or just out for a peaceful walk. With very little cost or effort, you can spend the whole day at a park that feels 1,000,000 miles away without trekking too far from home.
We're here at Garin Regional Park in Hayward. Who would know from where we're standing that there are houses just over the hill there, just outside the park? There's certainly some close by your house. There may be ones that you want to explore. Maybe you're used to going to a nearby park. There's another one not that far away.
There is so much new with East Bay Regional Park District. In just the past year, we're linking it all to KTVU.com. Now, if you're a first-timer to East Bay Regional Parks, I have two suggestions for you, especially if you have little ones. First of all, Little Farm in Tilden. You can feed the goats, you can, feed the cows, and it's a great sort of animal experience.
Yeah.
Also, if you are in Fremont or want to head down there, go to Ardenwood Farms because they have old farm equipment. We learned how they used to store corn. I think we churned butter there once. It's just an amazing look back at Bay Area history, how life used to be. Just the most relaxing day outside in the gorgeous East Bay Regional Parks.
I've been taking my family out to parks during this pandemic a lot, and I foresee ourselves doing it even more when the pandemic comes to an end. Do you foresee yourself and the family being out there in the parks?
100%, because here's the thing. We had so much time, we built new habits. And so now one of our new habits is if we have sort of an empty Saturday, or if we can look ahead and say, hey, what do you guys want to do tomorrow? I want to go to Ardenwood Farms. Let's go take a hike we haven't taken. And even though I'm a big fan of East Bay Regional Parks, there are so many hikes that have yet to be taken. So 100%.
I love it.
100%.
I love it. Gasia, thank you. All right, still ahead. We're going to talk about hidden gems in the East Bay. A lot of hidden gems out there, but specifically, there's one tucked away right between Oakland and Moraga. One of the oldest settlements, I believe, in Contra Costa County. Anyways, we'll check in with Frank Malicote on that. You're watching The 9 live from the East Bay. More news after the break. All right, welcome back to the 9 and our first zip trip of the summer season, where we are focused in on the East Bay region of the beautiful Bay Area. Behind us, the Oakland estuary. So much out there in the East Bay, so many little hidden gems.
Right, right. And of course, we all know Oakland, right? We all know, let's say, Moraga. But do you know what is between Oakland and Moraga? I've been lucky enough to take a couple windy little roads that take you the back way. You skip the Caldecott Tunnel mess. Let's talk to KTVU's Frank Malicote. You're super familiar with the La Marinda area. I think you grew up there, right? But there's a little tiny town, essentially a stone's throw from where you are, not a lot of people know about.
And that would be Canyon. Good morning, Garcia. Hi, Mike. Happy Friday, one and all. We're on a hilltop here in Lafayette, and behind me, the city of Lafayette. And over those hills is the small town of Canyon, right outside of Moraga. Now, years ago, it was a bustling lumber town, and a lot of the redwoods harvested in Canyon actually helped to build the Bay Area. But times have changed. It is now quiet and quaint. And if you talk to the residents of Canyon, they're okay with that. It sits on the eastern slope of the Oakland Hills and just a few miles east of Moraga, draped in massive redwoods and features some of the best views in the Bay Area. The town of Canyon is thriving. This 1850s logging town is now home to 300 plus that enjoy a simpler way of life.
Any community with trees is special and beautiful, so you're in a fabulous, fairly unusual forest. And then you've got this tradition of a tiny town of what's jokingly been called a tight-knit community of rugged individualists.
Esperanza Pratt would know. She and her 8 siblings moved to Canyon in 1970. She's a graduate of the Canyon School, which teaches K through 8th grade. The former teacher and current vice president of the school board says their mantra is simple. One school, 72 students, and 10,000 redwoods. A perfect place to learn and grow in a natural setting.
They have probably at our institution a little bit more voice and a little bit more choice. The state guidelines are a foundation, but we are committed to using the creek as a natural living lab, so you have an emphasis on outdoor education and on science learning and science integration.
If you've never heard of Canyon, you're not alone. In fact, just 3 miles down this road is the town of Moraga, and a lot of people there have never stepped foot in Canyon.
It's just a beautiful little place that nobody knows about.
And folks in Canyon are okay with that. They enjoy their privacy. Over 80 homes dot the hillside and are easy to miss. The residential roads are private and have clever names. The homes are rustic and in some cases out of this world. Meanwhile, the real world is just miles away, but you would never know.
Because we're unincorporated, you don't see a city limits. You do see a sign that says Canyon 1 mile or something like that, but you could drive past the school and the post office and not know what they are.
That's right. Canyon has a post office. Welcome to the 94516, All Canyon. It also serves as a community meeting place, complete with a flea market free bench and a redwood bulletin board. The post office keeps them connected in a town where everybody knows your name.
When we rebuilt the school in the early 90s, it was, there goes my brother Jeff.
Well, there you go. If you're not family, you are probably a good friend because everyone knows everybody if you live in Canyon. One last factoid to throw your way. Back in the 60s and early 70s, there was a bit of a counterculture, some might call them hippies, that lived in Canyon. In fact, Country Joe and the Fish of Woodstock fame and the Youngbloods actually played in a benefit concert at the Canyon School in the late 60s. So there you go. Certainly
cool.
Worth a visit, even if you're just passing through. That's the latest. I'm Frank Malicote, guys. Back to you.
Absolutely. And look, can I just tell you, it is a 2 hands on the wheel kind of drive when you get out there. It's really windy, all these gorgeous trees on either side, but it's a definitely, focus on the road situation.
Look at that knowledge by Frank on the music.
Yeah, that was I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Okay.
What about barbecue? You like barbecue?
Yes.
I love barbecue.
Yes.
I covered the World Series in, what year was it? 2014,
Okay.
Kansas City. There's some good barbecue in
remember
Kansas City.
that.
There's some great barbecue right here in the Bay Area. Just yesterday, actually, I had a bowl of chili, brisket.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Wow, look at you.
And there's some, hey, why? Why are you surprised
Did
by
you
the bowl
make
of chili?
it?
No, I did not make that.
All right.
No, I'll leave that to the pros. Let's check in
All
with
right,
KTVU's Claudine Wong because she's with a couple pros. When it comes to barbecue, Claudine?
Yeah, how about a little barbecue for breakfast, right? Never too early. And if you haven't been to this place, this is Black Star Pirate Barbecue in Richmond over on Stenmark. We want to take you in because this place is cool. This is a place that opened less than a year ago. They actually have their 1-year anniversary coming up next month, and it is so cool. It is all about the vibe and all about the food. And Miss Susie is one of the owners here. Now, Miss Susie, your business card says head wench, but we're going to go with the official title of owner. This is the coolest vibe. This is all about an experience. Tell me about creating it.
Oh, wow. We just wanted to create a place where it was funky and fun, and we have great music and great food, and people just can come and relax and enjoy.
Man, have they come. It's been so busy here. All right. Thanks, Miss Susie. Okay, so we're going to go in because that's the vibe. Let's talk about the food because Tony Karachi is the head chef here. He is also an owner, and he has dished up some beautiful looking barbecue this morning. So tell me what we got here.
We got some brisket here. This is our 16-hour brisket. We smoked that all night long.
Oh, and I just checked out your smoker. It was so cool. So tell me about creating, just one of the, best barbecue places to go. You guys opened less than a year ago. What was the idea when you said, what do we want to give people when they come out here?
Well, we just want people to come out here, have just about as much fun as you can have some amazing food, and just the vibe, just come out here and pretend like you're on vacation somewhere in magical.
And so tell me about making this. I mean, good barbecue. What does good barbecue look like? Because it takes a long time. It takes some patience, right? And I know you get out here you work our hours, 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I do. I start my day at 2:30 in the morning, and I work all night long. And our ribs, as you can see, we do those for 6 hours, and they just fall off the bone. And, yeah.
So it takes a little bit of a drive to get out here. You also have got some cool sides. I know that those are out there too. Oh, and I'm gonna walk back there with you. I'm leaving Chip in the front. And I'm gonna come closer to the food as we come back here. And tell me what your favorite sides and favorite kind of thing to kind of just back up the whole experience.
Well, okay, so everything on my menu that's not meat is vegetarian and mostly vegan. So my cowboy beans, which is my signature recipe. We have our mixed vegetables here, both vegan, and our candied sweet potatoes. They are also vegan.
Those are fantastic. So, and tell me, in terms of your experience as a chef, you have been all over the place.
Oh, I've been a few places.
You've been a few places.
I've been a few places. I started off at Cha 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 in San Francisco, and went to the Ace Cafe, and then I accidentally got into the nightclub business for about 20 years.
Accidentally. And so
that's a whole nother segment, let me tell you.
Tell me about making this barbecue, though, and how much fun it is, because you guys have a lot of fun out here.
This is our brisket right here. That's going to be up here in a few minutes. I just wanted to encapsulate everything and all the different styles that I have learned over the years, as far as Texas and Carolina and Kansas City and New Orleans, which is where my family's from, and put them all together.
Well, it smells. I wish you guys could smell this stuff. Tony, thank you so much. Through the camera, because it smells fantastic. And I think the never too early for barbecue might be a motto I might be living by soon. Because it smells great. And we're looking forward to kind of giving you a tour around this place, because it's not just the kitchen, not just the food, that vibe we were talking about. Fantastic views, and they've got concerts and plays and all sorts of stuff out here.
Yeah, I like a good vibe, and I like a good brisket as well. In fact, I was on their website a little bit earlier, and I like the line they had. It says, when your workday ends, my brisket still has 4 hours to go. Black Star Pirate Barbecue. By the way, I have a really good kids menu.
Okay, good. I like it, low and slow. So I guess to balance out all the brisket, we should have some fresh fruit, right? And what is better than hand-picked fresh fruit grown right here in the East Bay? One of my favorite things to do is to go out to Brentwood and do cherry picking. Cherries. Right around Mother's Day.
You do it every year, Goss.
It is a tradition for my family and so many others. There is stone fruit popping right now. We're going to take you out to one farm and show you how you can get your hands dirty and bring home some delicious gems from the East Bay. That's coming up in a second. Welcome back to the 9. What a gorgeous Friday morning. Today we are dedicating this first zip trip of the summer to the glorious East Bay region. And, we talked about some cities here that not many people visit because they're a little bit far out. And, Brentwood is sort of on the
Including
fringe.
me. I don't visit all these cities. Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
So, Brentwood is one of those cities that has seen an explosion in population. You go there and you see houses that weren't there 10, 15 years ago. But one thing that has stayed the same in Brentwood, and I'm so thankful for this, is the fact that there are family farms, and they're open to more than just the families who run them. They're open to people like me who love fresh fruit.
And see, this is something that my family and I, we don't do enough of. We don't go to the farms, and we don't go and pick the cherries, because I know you do it. You do it every year, right?
The weekend after Mother's Day, every single year, without fail.
So it's a fun tradition. It's a tradition that I think we need to start doing. And so I'm excited for this next zip trip over to Brentwood as we bring back in our co-anchor Sal Castaneda, because you went to a special farm out there in Brentwood. And I don't know, Sal, do you and the family do this? Do you guys go out just in general and pick cherries maybe once a year?
You know what? We've never done it, but we're going to do it now. I'm like you, Mike. I haven't really. I grew up in San Francisco in the Peninsula, and until I moved to the East Bay here, and I worked at Channel 2, I really hadn't gone out. And so I went out to a farm in Brentwood, first time ever, picking cherries and looking at this family farm. They were very welcoming, and it's really kind of a treat. So let me show you what I found at the Three Nun family farm.
Almost 150 years ago, the Nunn family came to Contra Costa County to begin farming.
We're really proud to still be farming out here in Brentwood, our 5th generation.
At the Three Nuns family farm, I met up with Haley Nunn, a self-described farmer's daughter, who was proud to show us her family's East Bay legacy.
Welcome to our little family farm here. Today we're picking cherries.
The Nunns own and operate several farms. Today we are at their 35-acre property near Walnut Boulevard and Vasco Road. A variety of fruit and vegetables are grown here. On a leisurely ride on a farm tractor, Haley gave me the lay of the land.
My dad does all the land planting, so he rotates the crops every year, where he grows sweet corn or tomatoes, garlic, so just depends. And we try to keep it rotating. It's kind of a regenerative agricultural practice.
Visitors will ride the same tractor out to the orchard to fill their buckets.
Oh man, we love it. We come out every year. Yep, we do cherries for sure. And this place also does the peaches and apricots, which we did before, and the kids look forward to it every year.
This is my first time picking cherries and tasting a few right off the tree. The verdict? Sweet and delicious. Back at the farm stand, the family history is on display. Here is Stanley Nunn in a Caterpillar tractor ad circa 1940. 80 years and 4 generations later, Stanley's great-grandson Sam is carrying on the family business.
It's fun being a farmer. I like being outside all day and growing stuff. It's pretty rewarding seeing people buy the fruits of your labor. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
Nita Tom says coming to this farm is a tradition for her family and says she is happy to be here, especially now.
I just think you appreciate things that you took for granted before. Like we used to do this every year, and then now I think you just savor the things that were more common and just appreciate when people are here and, making it nice. And it's harder for them. It's harder for vendors and retailers to do the experience that they were doing before, but they're still doing it, and we're just really happy and grateful that they do.
So Haley, the young lady who interviewed in that piece, kept reminding me that on Halloween or leading up to Halloween in the month of October, they have a huge pumpkin patch out there at that same farm in Brentwood. So me and my girls, we're planning on going out there and picking a couple of pumpkins. It really is great, and it's really great because you're not that far from Antioch or Concord, but it seems like it's a world away. So Mike and Gassia, I know Gassia, you've done it, but Mike, I want to recommend strongly that you get out there and you try this because it's really fun.
I'm in. I love it. Sal, thank you for that. And especially in October, the pumpkin patch. I heard there's a huge corn maze as well out there. I mean, I'm not a big cherry fan. Not to say I won't go pick the cherries, but I'm not. Pete, I love peaches.
Oh
That's
my
my
gosh.
favorite. What's your favorite
The
fruit?
stone fruit, I would have to say nectarines.
Nectarines are great too.
Cherries
Right.
are incredible. I mean, we picked strawberries in Brentwood, and it was so hot that we decided that we should have picked another day. So check the forecast before you go. It can get a little toasty out there, as you well know.
Strawberries are good.
Strawberries,
I do like strawberries.
peaches.
You're
Oh
right.
my gosh, you could have the barbecue. I want the fresh fruit. So one of the best things I think about these zip trips is that we get to highlight things for you to do and places for you to go see. But we also reveal some things about the East Bay that you thought you knew, but it turns out you had it
the
all
trivia.
wrong.
Got it.
So, and you know, for a know-it-all like me, right? Even I'm learning things. I thought, wait a minute, I grew up here. This is my home. And then when I was like, wait, what? Is that really? So, test your East Bay trivia with us in a minute when we take you on a fun round of zip trip trivia coming up. And then, look, if you have visited one place in the East Bay, I'm guessing it is this, and that is the gorgeous Mount Diablo. If you haven't been there before, we're going to give you a million reasons why. You can either do the windy drive, or if you have calves of steel, maybe you can bike up it. So we'll talk a little bit more about a gorgeous day trip to Mount Diablo in just a second.
All right, welcome back to the 9, live from the East Bay. Zip Trip season is underway, where we are focusing in on a number of regions in the Bay Area. I live up in the North Bay, and there are pockets of the North Bay where I can see Mount Diablo crystal clear.
Yeah.
You know, and so much focus on Mount Tam in the North Bay, and we're going to focus in on the North Bay, by the way, next Friday. But for now, it's the East Bay. But Mount Diablo, what a gem.
She is a gem, and you know, Mount Diablo is one of those places growing up in the East Bay that we would always take out of town guests, right? Yes, we'd go to Fisherman's Wharf, yes, but however, staying in our East Bay area, we would go to Mount Diablo, and some days we would just be blown to bits by the intense wind up on top. You know, other times we're sweating it out. Claudine Wong, I know, you got to see all sorts of faces of Mount Diablo that many people don't know about. It's a great gas tank getaway because it's right here in the East Bay, and there's so much to do. You can get in a good workout or just relax, right, Claudine?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I mean, we've been coming to you from this Black Star Pirate Barbecue place in Richmond, which is great. It's by the water. It's got some great outdoor spaces, and we love to do that. We love to actually sit here and hang out with their food as well. But when you're talking about all the way down at the water and all the way up to a place like Mount Diablo, that's why the East Bay is such an amazing place, and Mount Diablo never disappoints when you take a trip there. In terms of gas tank getaways, Mount Diablo State Park is an awesome place to visit. This is the Southgate entrance right in Danville. This is where you start your trek up the mountain. And part of the experience of Mount Diablo is the drive up. It winds and turns, and you will want to take your time.
Easily on the weekends, we'll have 500 or 600 cars and almost an equal number of bicyclists on the roads.
You don't have to drive. You could hike, but you should be prepared.
It's going to be about a 14-mile hike, and you've got about 3,300 feet in elevation to go. So you're looking at 7 miles and 3,300 feet just to get up to the top. It's pretty strenuous.
If that sounds like too much, don't worry. There is a lot of sun on Mount Diablo, but one place that offers shade is really one of the pretty special spots of the mountain. It's called Rock City, home of wind caves carved out by water, wind, and time. So if you want to just hike around and check out all the wind caves, there's certainly plenty to look at. But if you want to get a little closer, you wouldn't be the first. There are steps and grooves in these rocks, and these allow you to climb up and climb in. And once in, you get a little shade, get a little place to hang out, and wow, this view is something else. We found people going up and over.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my, you can see just everything. It's amazing. A lot of people have climbed these rocks for a long time, so the footholds and everything is already pretty stable.
So you haven't seen Sentinel Rock either?
No, not yet.
Do you know what that is? You guys know what that is?
No.
It's very cool. Okay, that's next on your list, is Sentinel
Got
Rock.
it, yes.
To get there, you have to follow a trail called the Trail Through Time. Here's our photojournalist, Joseph Cousins, navigating that trail, all with gear in hand. So the Trail Through Time gets you here where you can see Sentinel Rock. Now the hike here wasn't so bad, but if you want to get to Sentinel Rock, well, you'll have to do a little work. The path to the bottom of Sentinel Rock winds through brush and sandstone, and then you climb again. It is a steep climb to get to the top of Sentinel Rock, but there are cables here to help you on your way, and I would encourage you to use them. And once you get to the top, well, this is your reward. Another spectacular view. But even the top of this rock isn't, as they say, the top of the mountain.
don't miss the summit. On a clear day, you get an unbelievable view.
I think it's 35 of California's 58 counties. Some of those are very small percentages, like less than 1% of the county.
Up here, you should just take a minute to just sit and take in this remarkable treasure.
And really, I mean, the views, I can't even speak enough to how spectacular they are. Just one of those great places, Gassia and Mike, that you go there and every single time you say, why don't I go here more? It's just one of those places.
Breathtaking, just breathtaking, 3,800 plus feet up. And whether you're cycling or hiking, always a good reminder, bring the water.
Right.
Bring your layers,
Yes.
no matter what time of the year it is. And then also if you do go, I like to bring a friend, you never know. So just be safe when you go up there. But it is absolutely breathtaking. All right. One of the things I miss most about these zip trips, and I'm glad we're bringing it back, is that zip trip trivia. Frank Malico does a phenomenal job with these. I'm usually rolling in laughter about this, and I'm also learning. But Frank, you're bringing it back, and I'm glad you're doing it.
I'm glad too, Mike. We got our contestants, by the way, right here in Lafayette and over Moraga. We talked a little geography and a lot of history. So how did the East Bayers do? Here you go. The town of Alamo was named after?
Maybe the Alamo.
Yeah. Why would they do that?
Maybe there was a battle there.
Yeah. A battle in Alamo?
Well, there was a battle in Alamo, Texas. A war, a fight.
A fight?
Uh-huh.
Any idea how the town of Alamo got its name?
Oh my God, it's very interesting questions.
The Battle of what?
Alamo.
And where's Alamo?
It's in Texas.
How come you're not asking any questions I know the answer to?
I'm clueless.
Okay. It means poplar tree in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
He's one of the most accomplished actors ever. 2 Academy Awards. Born and conquered, raised up on Skyline Boulevard in Oakland. You know his movies. They've brought in $5 billion. He's still making movies. Who is he?
I have no idea.
I can read lips.
Well, go ahead.
Well, come on.
Give the guess.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know who it is. Forrest Gump, but I can't remember his name right.
That's good enough.
We are failures at this.
Yeah, I see him.
You see him?
You know, I'm 79, and I forget names. 10 minutes from now, I've got an answer for you.
Saving Private Ryan? Does that ring a bell?
Tom Hanks?
Yes.
Really?
Iconic actor. Born and conquered. Raised in Oakland on Skyline.
Tom Hanks.
Excuse me?
Tom Hanks.
Okay. That's all you needed?
Yeah.
Ding. Okay, ding, ding.
I like that.
Iconic rock band. 1960s. Went to Woodstock. 20 million albums sold. Southern rock. And they were born and raised in El Cerrito, California. Any idea who they are?
Is it the Grateful Dead?
No.
Green Day?
Green Day's Oakland. That's close.
John, what is his name? John Fogerty, yeah.
Yes. And what band was that? John Fogerty.
Oh, my husband will kill me for not knowing this.
Born on the Bayou.
Oh!
CCR.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Ding, ding, ding. Do you know their songs?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Which ones?
I don't know.
Do you know their songs?
Yes, I do.
Would you like to sing them?
Hell no. I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
All right. On a clear day atop Mount Diablo, how many of the 58 counties can you see in California?
Probably 12.
12? That's a clear day.
Somebody told me you can see the Sacramento if it's super clear day from there. So maybe 15 counties.
I say at least 20.
20?
Yeah. How come you're not asking any questions I know the answer to?
On a clear day, how many counties can you see atop Mount Diablo?
13. 27.
Alameda, Contra Costa. I'm not sure if you can see Marin.
10.
10. Well, that would cover the Bay Area plus.
I'm going to go big for this one. I'm going to go, I don't know, 40?
Holy moly, that's right on the money.
Is it? Yes, I knew it.
Yes. Crockett, California, home of the C&H Sugar Factory.
Yes.
It's been there since 1921. What does the C&H stand for?
Oh, my husband just told me this because we drove by. It's something in Hawaiian, right?
Yes. Yes.
Cane in Hawaiian?
No.
We are failures at this.
Give her a hand.
He's giving me an eyebrow. That's
What
all
state are you living in?
California.
Okay, that's a good start. What state would you like to be in right now with a
H.
H?
Hawaii.
Bingo.
Oh, hey. You mean I got a half an answer?
You got it.
All
You
right.
got it.
California and Hawaii.
Wow, you're the first one to get that. Well, I got to admit, I had trouble with that one too. I actually had to look it up, and I've driven by Crockett a million times. Last little bit of trivia. The martini was invented in the city of Martinez, rather. All the gold rushers used to come down there. They stayed at a hotel. They had a drink called the Martinez Special, and after a couple of them, they quickly became a martini. So there you go. Mike and Garcia, take it away.
Very solid, Frank. I love it. A little early for the martini, but I do like a vodka martini. A little twist there around the rim. I don't know.
I thought it was a double cappuccino dry.
Well, yeah, now, but
Okay.
maybe,
Okay.
tonight, like Friday night.
Got
Anyways,
it. Got it.
I love it.
So as we focus on the East Bay, one of the things I love is that the range of architecture, incredible, right? You have your Victorians, mid-century, which I love. Do you have a favorite? Are you like a craftsman guy?
Solid house that doesn't leak. That's,
Okay.
that's about as far as I go on architecture.
Got it.
I like Victorians. I've never lived in one.
I just like sort of poking around. You know, when you drive by, you see houses you probably never see anywhere else, and that is the case in Berkeley. Think about a home that's 2 stories, but not a single stair in it, not even really any right angles. So we're going to take you to the Berkeley Fish House, which is just as incredible as it sounds, coming up next on the Zip Trip featuring the glorious East Bay.
Actually, Alameda has a lot of Victorians.
Yes, it does.
Welcome back to the 9, live from the East Bay. Zip Trip season is underway. Specifically, we're here along the Oakland estuary, probably like 65, slight breeze out of the west.
Chilly.
I mean, I'm not Steve Paulson, but there's your weather hit for the day. You know, one thing I miss about being out there all the time, reporting day in and day out, being in the live trucks, is getting to know just the restaurants in every city, right? I mean, how many times was I outside the courthouse in Martinez covering whatever story it may be, and then you get your fingers in a little place, you're like, hey, have you eaten there? Have you eaten there? Martinez has one of those spots. Let's check back in with Sal Castaneda. And Sal, I know you spent some time in Martinez, dining here and there.
I certainly did. I just want to remind people that we are at Cafe Jolie in Alameda, and the croissants here, you need to come and get one. They just taste so good. But Mike and Garcia mentioned that I went to Martinez and basically ate my way through that town. And really, I was surprised at what I found because, you know, I just don't travel in the East Bay as much as I should, perhaps. But I think Martinez changed my mind. Let's watch this.
From the moment I entered Martinez and drove underneath the arch sign, I knew this place was a little different. The city of about 38,000 seems like a Midwestern town, complete with its own turn-of-the-century train station.
It's nice, you know, it's older, it's got a little culture and like look to it. I love it.
If you come here, you'll have no trouble getting something good to eat.
This is a Cali Benedict.
At the Copper Skillet Courtyard, J. Ibrahimi and Company turn out classic breakfasts like eggs, bacon, waffles, and more for regulars that have been coming here for decades.
We have local customers who have been coming here for the 21 years that we've been here. My father has been around since 1973, so we actually have family members, our community.
Restaurant owners here say people aren't taking eating out for granted.
Even for us, you know, we do waffles, we do pancakes, we do breakfast, so you don't really want that to go. You don't want a soggy waffle come into your house, so I feel like they're super thrilled to get a nice fresh meal now.
Lee Warner agrees. She's the owner of Slices of Italy, a play on her name. She makes plenty of pizzas here, but I was investigating if they made a decent Philly cheesesteak. So I ordered one and watched them make it. Thinly sliced New York strip, onions, American cheese on an Amoroso roll.
Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do.
Oh my gosh, you're going to love it.
See if I can do this neatly.
Let's give them some napkins here.
Ready?
Wow. But Martinez isn't limited to casual dining. At Poppy's down the street, we saw chef owner Ryan Geiser pouring wine for customers of his modern Italian kitchen, a restaurant he opened right in the middle of the pandemic. Geiser says if you haven't tried the Martinez food scene, now is the time.
Absolutely. I think we're the next upcoming small town Bay Area city.
From nice wine to beer, I found myself on a beer alley of sorts. At Five Sons Brewing, the owners say people are enjoying coming back out again.
Being on the other side of it, being able to kind of go 100% indoors and then kind of obviously roll back the mask requirements and everything, it's really been kind of a boom for us.
Martinez local Mark Roberts says he is enjoying the beer scene here.
Been to Del Cielo next door. It's my first time here at Five Sons, and love it coming down here on the weekend especially. I like having the park outside. I can bring my kids here. It's great.
Right next door at Del Cielo Brewing, owner Luis Castro says he is happy to be in business in Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez is great. Like, the city is super welcoming. And there's, so we have breweries, we have bars, we have restaurants. Definitely is a place where you can just come and pass the whole day. You can go hiking just like 5 minutes from here and then come and have a couple beers.
And there are plenty of house-made beers here, but my favorite was a cucumber michelada, which on its own is worth the trip.
Eso.
Wow.
That was a fun trip to take. And you know, Mike and Garcia, what it told me about my views of local towns. It used to be that, you know, you had one or two restaurants in your local town, but if you wanted some good food, you had to go to San Francisco. And no knock on San Francisco. I grew up there. I love the city. But you don't have to do that anymore. You can go to Martinez. You can go to Alameda. You can go to a lot of these cities, and they have restaurants. The restaurant scene is booming in all these cities, and that's exactly what all these owners tell me. They say, hey, we want to give people an option so they can just go right down the street, leave the kids with the sitter, go down, maybe have a nice night out, and then come back and not have to drive all the way to the city. So I think that's something that is happening all over the East Bay.
Great plan. I love it. And, you know, these restaurants need us right now, especially coming out of this pandemic. We're still in it, trying to get out of it, but we need to focus in on them. So if you can, support your local restaurants, no matter what city you live in.
Yeah, well, I know someone special in the East Bay has some extra cash to hopefully support her local restaurants. We have the announcement. It's our first Fox 2 Foodie Contest winner. Congratulations to Pamela from Castro Valley.
Nice, Pamela. Congratulations.
Absolutely. So, Pamela from Castro Valley, you are our first big winner. You just won $250 plus a cool Fox swag bag. I know there's a frozen custard place, I think Rita's. They're in Castro Valley, and a Knudson's. It's an ice cream shop across the way. Anyway, Pamela will know what to do with that cash. Now, for a chance to see your name announced next Friday when we take our zip trip to the North Bay, you can enter right now to win by scanning this code that's on your screen, or you can head over to ktvu.com/contest. And for the next 2 weeks, you can catch up on Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef Legends Mondays and Wednesdays right here on KTVU Fox 2, or anytime over on Fox Now before all new episodes return in August. We've all been spending so much time in the kitchen, so I think it'll be great to kind of get out, support your favorite local restaurant, and, you know, let the experts take it over.
Hey, Pamela.
From Castro Valley.
$250. Very nice. Congratulations, Pamela. All right, you were talking about architecture a little bit earlier. Yes. We've got a hidden gem for you. Back to Claudine Wong we go. And Claudine, you're focused in here on a house in Berkeley. I think it's one of the most photographed homes in the East Bay.
It's a very cool house. I mean, let's be honest, when we talk about places that are cool, it's about the places, but it's also about the people. You know, we're back here at Black Star Pirate BBQ and meeting Tony and Susie, who are the owners. We just want to give you a quick peek for all the people who have been calling, trying to figure out what's on the menu today. That's about 5 hours. Half what they're going to do today. You know, and Tony and who he is, it's what makes some of this food so fantastic. And really, that's what makes the Fish House in Berkeley so amazing. It's not just about the house, but it's about the story behind it.
It's called the Fish House, and it has long been a conversation starter.
You know, everybody came in to see what this was about.
It's been called the safest house in the world. Architect Eugene Sway calls it biologic design, but it's taken a while to grow on people.
For many, many years, I was considered a crackpot. But now, I think the world is realizing that maybe Eugene was right, that maybe nature has something to tell us.
To understand the house, you have to understand the man. The 66-year-old is also an author. He's a clothing designer, a composer, and a father. You can't put this man in a box. He really doesn't like boxes.
The box in nature doesn't exist, and that's because the cube is the weakest structure in nature.
And so he lives his life outside of the box in every way. He learned gymnastics in college.
And I eventually became the 4-time senior Olympic all-around champion.
In his late 40s, he found boxing.
The first championship I went to, I won. And eventually, over a 10-year period, I won 8 world championships.
He uses life experiences and a love of nature to design his buildings. And so it makes sense that when his parents asked him to build them a house, it too wouldn't be shaped like a box. And in fact, it's hard to find a straight line in this 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot home.
Take me through it.
Okay, so you notice that when you first enter the house, it's narrow and dark. That's purposefully designed that way.
You walk from dark to light to the center and a 33-foot ceiling.
The house is also built like a boat. So this whole floor is one piece.
It's 2 stories, but you won't find stairs.
And it invites you up.
The ramp brings you up and past a huge plexiglass round window designed to explode with light. All the windows here are round.
Okay, the round windows, they're round because in an earthquake, which we're very prone to, the stress and strains are taken tangentially around the frames, so there's no cracking.
And while it's known as the fish house, it was actually inspired by something else.
What is the most indestructible living thing on the planet? And I looked that up. It happens to be a little, it's an arthropod. It looks like a little bug, a little fat bug with 8 legs. It's called the tardigrade. There's something about the way they're shaped. It must be. The way they're shaped, the way their geometries are put together. And so I mimicked that in the fish house, the so-called fish house.
Back in the 90s, lots of people didn't want his house.
The planning review, the city council, the neighbors screaming at each other, screaming and say, you know, this is a travesty.
Time has been more gracious.
Can you imagine from its history in 1991 or 2 as, you know, not in my backyard, and now, 27 years later, it is now voted as the best design in all of Berkeley.
Is there a part of you right now that's going, I told you so?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Eugene Sway is working on a new project by Mount Shasta. Pretty spectacular from the pictures I have seen, so we'll keep tabs on that. And in the meantime, we'll just hang out in this little waiting area that we found over here at Black Star BBQ. Maybe get a fork and hang out if you guys want to come out this way.
Maybe. I'm going to go check out that fish house for myself. That's like, I think, the one part of Berkeley I haven't been to.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Claudine's got a fork, I got a spoon.
Okay.
All right, coming up, we're not done yet. We're going to focus in on, well, I guess you could say a little ice cream there.
A little ice cream.
Talk about a very popular creamery in the East Bay. What are the odds that I actually take a bite before we come back from commercial, Garcia? What do you think?
Give it a try.
I am. I can't wait. I'm going to eat it. All right, welcome back to our East Bay Zip Trip. We've been talking about barbecue. We've been talking about martinis. We've been talking about ice cream, Fentons.
Dessert, right?
Thank you for sending this over. Started, back in the late 1800s,
right.
and has been open ever since here in Oakland.
Right, I think 1894 at another location on 41st. Of course, now you can find Fentons on Piedmont Ave in Oakland. I know you've seen it in a number of Pixar movies. 100 million years ago, my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Kashiwamura, took some students all the way to Fentons. So from Livermore to Oakland to take a delight. If you're not going to eat that, I am.
No, I'm
going
to eat it. You
okay.
keep going.
Okay.
Because actually, I did take a bite.
Okay. Right. I mean, like, this is the place for like a birthday party. I mean, Sal, I know you've got little ones. Tell me, Sal, that you've been to Fens and that you've taken your little lambs here.
Are you kidding? It's a family tradition. We go there, and before the pandemic, we would go and sit inside. Meanwhile, we've gone and gotten takeout orders, but I think that they're setting people inside. We're here in Alameda at Cafe Jolie. The place got full, so I'm happy to see that all these East Bay restaurants are going again.
Look, I'm going to take some from the other side. Sal, we'll save the cherry for you. Our next Zip Trip next Friday, North Bay. All things North Bay. Awesome. Thanks for joining us.